Mind me, just blowing the dust off my keyboard that I haven't used in forever. Alright, well, I would like to apologize once again. I still haven't gotten to a point where I can consistently upload. My schedule is still all over the place. I got work constantly. And then when I don't work, I'm too tired to make videos, man. And, you know, when the Dolphins are doing bad, I generally don't want to make videos. Even though they've been doing really, really good, and this is kind of why I really needed to make this video here too, because I needed to comment on this 5-game winning streak. In my previous video, Dolphins had gone 1-4, and I just freaking unloaded on them with just about everything I had. I was mad. Honestly, I'm still pretty mad about the way it's all been shaking down. So, but there has been a lot of positivity that I've seen in this 5-game winning streak, and that's what I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the good, and I'm going to talk about the negative, and I'm going to talk about why I'm still not necessarily sold on this team. So, we'll start off with, I generally want to finish off with good news, but the bad news kind of continues on to what I'm going to continue to say, which is why I'm not sold on this team yet. So we'll start with the good. The good is that we've seen our running game kind of come along a little bit more. Obviously Jay Ajayi had the back-to-back 200-yard games, which was fantastic. And then he came back and against the at the time #1 ranked rush defense, ran for over 100 yards on them as well. And then kind of fell off against the Chargers, and then also didn't do as well against the Rams. A lot of what happened in the Rams game, I kind of want to let go because it was very wet outside. But at the same time, I also don't want to make excuses. And I'm also talking about the negatives right now, even though I should be talking about the positives. So I'm going to get back to the positives. We'll continue on to the negatives here in a little bit. So that's a positive, is that our running game has seen some improvement, which has kind of helped take the pressure off of Tannehill, I think, and take some of the pressure off of our offensive line as well, so that we don't have to just keep throwing it all the time. So that's another positive I want to point out, is offensive line play has been very, very good. After we went 1-4, we finally had our starting offensive linemen all healthy, and we saw what this offense could do when we have our healthy linemen all playing. They didn't knock Tannehill down, or the defense didn't knock Tannehill down, so he had time to sit back there. And I'm not saying that, especially in the games when Ajayi was running the ball extremely well, because there was no need for them to pass it. Tannehill wasn't necessarily lighting up the NFL or anything like that, but you saw what he could do with an offensive line. When he has time, he can sit there and he can do his thing. And again, it was more about Ajayi in those games, which is why his numbers weren't super eye-popping or anything like that. But he had a good completion percentage. He was kept off his back, and he did what he needed to do. He did his role. He did his part to win the game, which is what I've really loved, which is my main thing that I love about what I've seen in this 5-game winning streak, is that this team finds a way to win. The Chargers, it was a pick 6. The Rams, they found offense there in the last 6 minutes of the game, just magically out of nowhere. Against, obviously, the Bills and the Steelers, it was about the running game. I guess you can really say it was about the running game in the Jets game as well. But there was, it was just a whole team effort, man. And I know, I'm sorry, special teams, you could probably say, is the big one from the Jets game. So they're finding ways to win. It's not all just we're leaning on just this passing attack, or we're leaning on just the running attack, or we're just leaning on the defense, or anything like that. We're finding different ways to win, which is something that I like, which is something that I think great elite teams in this league do, is that even when they're having bad games, even when everything isn't going their way, they still find ways to win. That was super apparent to me in the Rams game when we, I'm going to be 100% honest, I stopped watching the game towards the end of the fourth quarter there, because it was just, it was raining, and we just couldn't do anything, man. And so I turned it off, I got mad, and I went out to my dad's room. And my dad actually had the red zone on, so I was able to kind of see the last 2 drives and watch the last 2 drives. And I didn't know what to think. For one, I felt I felt like an ass because I didn't watch the game, or because I didn't finish watching the game. So I felt like one of those fans that gets up and leaves right in the middle of the game and walks away and then tries to get back into the stadium. I hate being like that. I'm not a bandwagon fan. I don't ever want to be accused of being a bandwagon fan. But I was really upset. I was very upset because it seemed like, you know, I was starting to kind of come around to this team before that game, and then that game came around, and I know it was raining outside and stuff like that, but I try not to make excuses anymore. I'm tired of the excuses, and I guess this is kind of steamrolling into my what I don't like about this winning streak, is that you know, I'm tired of making excuses for when they lose. So I don't want to hear about the weather being an excuse, and things like that. So I'm also, you know, so it's like the thing that I really hate about the win streak is that which just kind of negates one of the positives I said, is that we don't really look great anywhere. The wins aren't really great; they just kind of happen. You know, we don't have the offense to put up points to score with New England. We also don't have the defense to stop somebody like New England. So it's like, you know, it seems like, you know, are they just winning against bad teams? Or what? You know, I don't know. I don't want to say that. Again, they don't make the schedules. They just play the teams that are on their schedules. Again, I don't want to make excuses for when they lose. I also don't want to make excuses for when they win. So I don't care if they win against the 0-11 Browns. I don't care if they beat the freaking 10-1 Dallas Cowboys. Doesn't matter to me. I don't want to hear excuses for when they win or when they lose. So I guess that's why I'm not still 100% sold on this team. It's because I don't see anything that makes me believe that they can contend, which honestly, coming into the season, didn't really think was going to happen anyway. But that's the thing about Miami, is that they're doing what they do every year. And I know this is a new regime. I know that there's some new pieces around, and I know that they're trying to build something else, but the thing that Miami does every year that I can't stand is they get your hopes up for nothing. And right now, this is it. Everybody jumps off the bandwagon when they're 1-4. They win 5 straight. Everybody jumps back on again. And then that's when this is about when they start letting us down again. And, you know, again, like I said, I'm not a bandwagon fan. I still rep the colors. Still got it on right here. Even though I am wearing a Michigan jacket, I am also a Michigan fan. I'm also a Lions fan because my dad is a Lions fan. He was also born in Michigan. So go Michigan against the Buckeyes this weekend. And congratulations to Detroit on taking first place in the division after the win yesterday. But anyway, back to my point anyway. I'm not a bandwagon fan, so I'm always on board with Miami. I'm always flying the colors. I'm always doing all that stuff. I watch the games if they're on TV and things like that. But, you know, even just talking to friends and things like that. And in my last video, man, I bash this team constantly because that's just it. I'm tired of what ifs. There's plenty of times last couple of years where I've said, what if? What if they did this? What if they did this? They'd be in the playoffs if they did this. Tired of it. Tired of it. I don't want excuses. And again, I don't see anything that makes me believe that this is a playoff contending team. You still have the stacked AFC West. We still don't hold a playoff spot right now. We still have the stacked AFC West to deal with because, you know, and I am aware that we have a chance to possibly move into a wild card spot today, or not today, I'm sorry, on Sunday if we beat the 49ers, because the Chiefs and the Broncos are playing. I believe we leapfrog whoever wins that game. I'm not 100% sure about that. So, but the thing about it is that the Chiefs just win. It's kind of weird because they're doing what Miami is doing now in terms of finding ways to win, because they don't necessarily do it that pretty either. But the thing about the Chiefs is that the Chiefs do it consistently, so you already know that you're going to get that. Miami doesn't do it consistently. That's the thing that scares me about the Chiefs. Obviously, you got Oakland, who scares me for plenty of reasons. They're probably going to win the division, so they're not really the ones that we have to worry about. But then you also have the Broncos, who you definitely can't sleep on because they have still arguably probably the best defense in the NFL. After what they did in the Super Bowl last year, it's, you know, even though their offense isn't playing that well right now, and really as a team they're not playing super well, it doesn't matter, man. It's still Denver. They still scare me. So that's why I'm not sold on this team, is because there's so much other competition we have to deal with right now. And then now you got the Steelers, who just won yesterday, and the Ravens, who I think currently have the #1 defense in the NFL statistically. We still have to play the Ravens as well, and there's a couple games on our schedule that could be hit or miss. And that's the thing, is that there is no easy game for this team. So this weekend against the 49ers, even though the 49ers are 1-9, this is still not a team to sleep on, especially because we have the number 30th ranked, or we're number 30 against the run, and they have Colin Kaepernick and Carlos Hyde. That scares me, honestly. And, during the offseason, this team has a lot of issues that they need to address still. Our defensive ends are getting old. We don't have linebackers. We don't have secondary. We still need, I still think we need better offensive weapons than what we have. As good as Ajayi has been so far, I still think we need to bring in another running back that could possibly compete for a starting job. I think we are still going to need to shore up that offensive line. As much as I hate to say it, we're probably going to need to use a first-round pick to start shoring up that offensive line, maybe, if you don't use it on a linebacker or a corner, if there isn't somebody, depending on what, if you can get whoever's better at their position, a better lineman, linebacker, or corner. I think those are the 3 top needs that we have. Again, that's ways off. I'm not looking forward to playoffs. I'm not looking forward to off season. I'm just taking this week by week, man. Taking it week by week. We've got the Niners this weekend. I'm still trying to be optimistic about this team, and I'm still, I'm obviously still going to root for them and things like that. But they have to improve on a lot of these areas. They have to consistently improve. I am hoping Adam Gase and his coaching staff right now is looking like they could potentially be the answer that we've been looking for. We're going to see, though, man. I'm going to pump the brakes on that. I'm not going to officially say that is the case yet, especially because, you got Tony Sparano that took a 1-15 team, went 11-5, and went to the playoffs his first year. What did he do after that? So even if we make the playoffs, that still isn't a guarantee that Adam Gase is the guy. I have to see that this team can consistently win. But, go Miami. I'm really looking forward to this game. I really want to see them do this. I really want to see them win 6 straight. And again, congratulations to the Lions on getting first place in the NFC North. NFC North. Sorry. And go Michigan, beat the Buckeyes this weekend, please. Oh my God, please. And I'm hopefully trying to make a video after the Dolphins 49ers game. I'm going to try to see if I can be able to watch it. I think in my area, I'm not going to be seeing the game. I think it's going to be the Bucs and the Seahawks. So I'm going to try to find a way to watch the game so that I can bring a post-game report, I guess you could call it, afterwards. I do want to try to upload videos more consistently, hopefully, and try to branch out and do more things other than just football. So I'll catch you guys later. Hopefully I will see you Sunday.